Hi 4-5s, it is now spring. I've got my nice spring top on and we're going to do some spring art today. It is called Flowers in a Vase, so believe it or not. So we're going to create this today in art. We've got a vase here that I've drawn and we're going to do sort of like a tie-dye flower. So let's get into it. First thing you need to do is, hopefully at home you have some paper towel. So our flowers on here are made out of paper towel. If you don't, you can use tissues, a little bit thin, or toilet paper. So either, but preferably the good old paper towel if you have some. First thing you need to do is draw some flowers using some watercolor textures. Okay, they've got to be textures that run when they get wet. Okay, so you can just draw your good old standard flower, but you don't have to colour it in, so which is pretty good. Okay, so hold your paper towel nice and firm and add colours to it. You don't have to, remember, colour it. You can just put different bits into your flowers, different bits of decoration. Okay, so that's one style I'll do. I'll do another one. Might have sort of like a poppy type flower. And a bit of yellow in it as well, around the outside. Okay, next one, pink. Colour in that centre because pinks are pretty cool. Next is my blues. Around that. Okay, so what you need to do is probably about 5 or 6 different types of flowers, different sizes. Would be awesome. So I might just do another green, I think. Use the different greens. Pretty nice colours together. And see how I go with this one. Around. Okay, lots of different types of flowers. The next part is that you need a glass of water and you just wet your finger in there, just dip it in and then tap or dab onto the texture. Okay, and then you'll see the water pick up the colour pigment and spread it. But don't put too much water. You don't want to put a hole in your paper towel and you don't want to wait 2 days for it to dry either. Okay, so the less water the better, but you do want that watercolor texture to spread. Okay, so see how I'm just dabbing just on the edge of the color. Okay, and around. So you need to do this part first so you can set it aside to dry. Okay, because we can't do the second step until this is dry. So you can see how cool they sort of spread. All right, so sit that somewhere warm if you've got a sunny spot at home or in front of a heater or something like that. It'll be great to dry. So it might take about half an hour or so. While that's drying, get yourself a piece of paper and then do your vase. So there's lots of different shapes of vases, styles. I don't know, I might do a square vase this time, so I'm just doing it with my black Sharpie. Okay, so I want my back and I've just got a little pattern in there. I might just do this one a little bit different and have some angles. It's up to you what you want to do. Okay, so down in there I've used some glitter pens to do the little flower pattern design across it. Then I've just coloured over the top. So we want to see some colour in this. If your vase is square like mine, you'll just colour it flat. If it's round, you need to put that value in. Okay, so it's going to be dark on the edges. All right, and then gradually getting lighter to make it look like it's round. Okay, so have a go adding some value to your vase. Okay, so I won't colour the rest all down here, but you have a go at doing it. Okay, so you can see it's starting to form and it gives it a little bit of a curved appearance. Okay, so you do both sides. Then you might put a pattern down the centre. Whatever you want to do. Okay, different colour in there. So we want to make it nice and spring-like and lots of colours in our work this week. Okay, so you can use whatever you've got. If you've got gel pens, highlighters, whatever you've got to make your picture. Okay, so once your flowers are dry, mine are still wet, but I do have some here that I already have done. You can see some awesome colours that have come out from the water and the spreading of the pigment colours. Okay, so what you need to get next is your black texture, and then what you're going to do is then add detail to your flower. You don't have to go around everything, okay? There are some flowers that will look really cool if you just went around the edges. Okay, these sorts of bits. It looks a little bit like a pansy, this one, which is pretty cool. Then we've got this one. And a few spots in there, like a blue, orangey sunflower. Okay, so might just put a few bits in there. So you're just adding some detail to these flowers just to make them pop a little bit out of the vase. So once you've done that, you need to cut around. You don't have to cut so precise because remember they are flowers, so you don't have to have a perfect circle. You might just follow the colour there and around. There's that one. And this one. So paper towel, believe me or not, it is a little bit hard to cut. So take your time, and it is very difficult to cut when it's wet. Okay, you won't be able to cut your paper towel nicely if your paper towel is still wet. That's why everything needs to be dry. And if you use a watercolor texture on water, it's going to spread that black through your flowers, and you don't want a lot of black through there because it will spoil your bright colors. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that. That'll do these few. Okay, so once you've cut out your flowers, there's a little trick to it. You can separate your paper towel because there's a couple of layers. So you end up with 2 flowers. Pretty cool trick, I reckon. Saves a little bit of work. Not exactly the same, but that's okay. You still use them. A little bit tricky to get apart. Okay, so you can see by just sitting them there that they look very flat. Okay, I might just add a little bit more black to that because it's looking a little bit dull. You don't have to have it the same as that one. And I'll just put some spots around the outside. Okay, so what we want is we want the flowers to come off the page a bit. So there's a couple of ways we can do it. You can pick up your paper towel, turn it over, or well, no, keep it on the right side, and just push it up the pencil, and you can make a little cup shape. So the next thing is that you just stick your flowers just in the center part. See, I'm not sticking the petals down at all. Okay, this one's very flat, so I'm just going to shape it. Put that pencil in the center. Put this one down here. This one's already got a little bit of a lift. You can have your flowers down the bottom. That one looks pretty cool. I like that one. And this one down the bottom here. And that one. So you want to fill your vase so you get a nice full looking vase. So you can see it will look pretty cool if I had the blues and the reds and the purples in amongst them as well. So that is your art lesson for this week. So remember, first thing is to get your flowers made and sit them aside because they really have to be dry. Take your time in doing your vase while you're waiting for that to dry. Make it nice and neat. I want to see some nice neat colouring, some patterns, maybe some value in there as well, and some details in your flowers. Okay, so happy arting everyone, and I can't wait to see your spring flowers in a vase.